Hello, limitless creators, receiving from an unlimited source in unlimited ways, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassidy, and I mentor busy professionals to detox their mind and body, gain more energy, and live a natural lifestyle so that they can take control of their health. And welcome to this edition of Free Yourself Friday. On today's video, I'm going to be talking with you about 3 reasons why inner shadow work is so important. So at the end of this video, you're going to walk away knowing what shadow work is, why it's so important, those 3 reasons why, and a little bit about my own personal example of shadow work that I work through to be able to create the current reality that I am living today. So let's dive into, first and foremost, what is shadow work? So shadow work is just essentially revealing suppressed parts of yourself, repressed parts of yourself. It is going into the shadow self, right? And it is really essential for you to, in order to do shadow work, you're going to have to make the unconscious conscious. So you're going to have to tap into your unconscious mind. Well, why do we want to do this, right? Because when we heal, we are acting from a place of authenticity, and we are going to be our most fulfilled, happy, free, and healthy self when we are acting from our healed self versus our versus operating from our trauma self, right? Or our unhealed self. So this is really why shadow work is so important. And there's so many things, and I'm going to get into it in this video, but like so many benefits, right? Like I said, increase happiness, increase health, so many benefits of shadow work, which I will be diving into. And shadow work really is all about, like I said, tapping into the unconscious and making it conscious so that you're not recycling and repeating the same experiences over and over again. You're essentially freeing yourself and you're able to level up, because I truly believe that the lessons that we don't learn in this lifetime or choose not to learn in this lifetime, that will just carry with us into the next lifetime, right? Because Source loves us so much, so unconditionally, that Source wants us to learn the lessons. Source wants us to grow. Source wants to put us in challenging or, testing, trying situations so that we up level, because we know that we don't grow where we're comfy, right? Comfort and, growth are just not synonymous. So yes. So this really brings me to the first reason why shadow work is so important. And that is that you will essentially repeat the same experiences, and especially relationship dynamics and issues, again and again, and you will recycle these experiences again and again when you choose not to do the inner work, the shadow work. So this looks like, having a similar, like I said, relationship dynamic or issue going on in a relationship, just with a different face. So we can save ourselves a lot of pain, heartache, frustration, a lot of low vibrational feelings, right? And emotions by doing the inner work, right? I always said, before getting into a relationship, before getting into, a relationship with my conscious life partner that I'm calling forth, I desire to do more shadow work. And I'm not saying that I can't do that while I'm in relationship with someone, but I actually also said that I needed to read How to Do the Work by the holistic psychologist, Dr. 𝘃𝑂𝗯𝗶. And I'll talk a little bit more about her in that book at the very end. And I still haven't read it yet, but a lot of the principles that she teaches in there I'm very aware of. And I'm always actively, constantly doing the inner work. And also relationships are such great teachers for that. So beautiful. But I just know that from my experiences, right, I don't want to, recycle the same experiences and deal with the same, heartache that I have. We don't need to put ourselves through that. We can instead choose to do the work and then not, like I said, recycle those same experiences. So I'll go ahead and jump right into my personal example of, this is a huge breakthrough for me to discover where I was, self-sabotaging, where my limiting beliefs were creating these realities for myself, these situations I did not want. So I know that my beliefs create my reality, and I discovered something. I realized that I had a similar relationship dynamic with a belief that I may have been holding on to due to childhood. So a belief that I held was that men who love me and care about me, they love and care about me, but men who love and care about me, and then in this specific case, it was my dad, do not want to spend quality time with me. They don't like to, or whatever the belief is. The belief was somewhere along those lines, I know. So I realized this because my ex-partner, towards the end of our marriage, my ex-husband, he didn't want to spend quality time. And I just noticed that happened with him. And then after him, there was a romantic interest in the same kind of like situation came up, like very busy, ambitious men, which I love. And I'm like, that is amazing. So grateful for. And also we make time for what we want to make time for, right? So I noticed that same exact thing coming up. It was like, didn't want to spend, a lot of time, or didn't make a lot of time to spend quality time. So I realized, I may be holding this belief that, men who love me, they're just too busy to spend time with me. They don't want to spend time with me. So once I healed that belief, and one of the ways that I do this too is that I will literally create a positive affirmation, and I say positive affirmations every single morning. If you have any limiting beliefs coming up right now for you, this is something that you can do. And I would create a positive affirmation that is the opposite, strong, loving, hardworking, ambitious men love to spend time with me, or whatever it is. And I don't even know if I specifically put an affirmation, I wrote down an affirmation like that at that time, but it is something that I currently do. There's affirmations that I read this morning that have been reversals of some of my limiting beliefs that have come up. So, and then all of a sudden, changing my beliefs and everything, I was calling in men that just, they're really, really busy, but they really want to spend time with me. So dated someone for a little bit who worked like 70+ hour weeks. But when he did have time, he wanted to spend it with me, right? He wanted to, of course, spend it on himself as well, but also spend it with me. So I was like, all right, girl, we're healing over here. Okay, So I realized, okay, yes, you leveled up. And it also is really interesting too. This goes a little bit deeper into shadow work in another video topic for another day, but we can also tune into our attraction. We can actually be attracted to what is not good for us because of the dynamic that we saw like as a child. So a lot of your limiting beliefs that can be creating these stories that you have that show up as your reality, because once again, your beliefs create your reality, come from childhood. So we can look at a lot of dynamics like with our parents and some trauma and things like that happened, or needs that weren't met from when we were a child. So that is reason number 1. That was a really kind of long and drawn out answer, but I know that everything there was, important, and I know that it really landed for you guys. So I'm grateful to share. So reason number 2, why it is so important to do the inner work, the shadow work, is that it's going to give you more compassion for others and help you not only love them more and be more of a loving being, but it's also going to help you not take things as personally as well, right? Because you can be like, oh, I've been there, or oh, I know what's going on with them, right? So beautiful. So, people are always acting, they're pretty much acting from 2 different places, from a place of love, or they are acting as a cry for love. I even said to one of my family members when they were acting very irrationally and maliciously, this is not you. This is your pain, So going back to, once again, the trauma, the inner child, all of that, when we are hurt and we don't heal that, it overflows into everybody else, right? It's not an excuse. This is not to say that we're excusing anyone's actions. It's just to say, oh, okay, I have a deeper understanding of that. I've been there before. Oh, I felt that pain before. Like, oh, like, what did you go through to make you like be that way? Which is, once again, not an excuse. There's a saying, hurt people, right? And healed people, heal people. I don't really like that. Healed people, help people heal, because Source is doing the healing. I'm not a healer. I'm facilitating healing, right? So yes, when I look at people who are acting from a place of pain, once again, you can really look at people from the eyes of seeing them as a little inner child, right? Who didn't get their needs met, who was hurt, And my friend and I, we came up with a great concept that's really a lot of fun to say as well too, is like that, you know, that person is just a hurt baby, you know, and it's kind of funny, right? But it's also sad, but it's like they're just a hurt baby. Like, you know, like if someone is acting, you know, low vibrational, they're trying to cause pain, they're trying to hurt you, etc., they're a hurt baby. At the end of the day, that person was a child once, and like I said, they didn't get their needs met, and that inner child really needs some healing and some love, and only they can do that for themselves. And not only is doing inner work going to make you more compassionate and take things less personal and be more of a loving human, but it's also just going to make you more emotionally intelligent. And this is going to help you in so many aspects of your life, including your career, your finances, and more. And the third reason why doing the inner work is so important is because it's gonna help you stop self-sabotaging. This one is huge, and I can't wait to dive deeper into some of my shadows and dive deeper into this specific topic here. The topic of self-sabotage is very interesting. So, you know, someone can be extremely confident. I am an extremely confident person, know their worth, value themselves, etc., and still have those little limiting beliefs or, you know, shadow self, little traumas, trying to rule the narrative, you know, because at the end of the day, our life, the reality that we're currently living is based off of one big story, right? It's the stories that we tell ourselves. It's the beliefs that we hold. So I definitely noticed that I was self-sabotaging, like in my business, before I created the Divine Detox Method Master Course. And it was really beautiful to recognize, like, oh girl, like you say you know your worth, you think you know your worth, but do you really know your worth, sis? Because at the end of the day, it all stems down to this one affirmation and knowing, right? It's not just affirmation. We can't just say it. We have to know it and say it with conviction and belief in our hearts. I am worthy, you know, I am worthy. And this feeling of unworthiness and not enoughness, it comes from childhood. You know, not being good enough or smart enough or, you know, athletic enough or whatever it is, right? It really comes from childhood. So that feeling of unworthiness really needs to be addressed. And when you do the shadow work and inner work, you're going to discover where, oh man, I could be self-sabotaging this beautiful, you know, relationship or this, you know, job opportunity or et cetera, you know, fill in the narrative of sabotaging my happiness, sabotaging my peace, sabotaging my health. And, you know, it doesn't just come from a feeling of not enoughness or unworthiness from childhood. It could come from a programming that you saw from a parent and how they viewed their own self-worth and many different things, right? But really, really important to do inner work, because when you do it, you're going to stop self-sabotaging. And yes, it is just so extremely powerful to live your life through a lens of worthiness and of not sabotaging your success, your happiness, all of the divine birthright things that are here for you. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, a really great place to start for you to dive deeper into your inner work is to just be a human, you know, just like be a human, be yourself every day. No, but seriously, like we're constantly getting triggered, right, every single day, and we can just be observant of like, where did I get triggered there, whatever, right? No, but I do want to say, yes, for real though, but I do want to say that I really am excited to dive into the book and recommend for you, because I am in love with all of her posts on Instagram and who she is. The holistic psychologist, that's her IG handle, Dr. 𝘃𝗂𝗯𝗰, by the way, I get her, I don't know if they're daily, but her little text, you can subscribe to it with the link in her bio. Really beautiful reminders. And she has the book How to Do the Work, and I'm really excited to dive deeper into that. So that's a really great start. And just like I always talk about root cause healing, especially for physical health, you know, Nicole is a great example of root cause healing for emotional health. You know, I think that you just have to find what works for you and like who aligns best for you. But most like average therapists out there, they're not really like gonna be doing the work that, for example, Dr. Nicole dives into. So just wanted to throw that in there. And I would love to know any tools that you're using, you know, journaling, just being a human, and just any tools that you're using that are really helping you and things that help you dive deeper into your inner work. I also would love to know if this, video got your wheels turning and you thinking like, oh man, like that's interesting that Cassidy mentioned, like the example of, past partners and dynamics that were showing up. Basically the same experiences with a different face recycling themselves. And if you notice a certain dynamic with maybe past partners you've had, like, oh, all of them have been this way. She's always been trying to control me, every single woman that I was with or something, for example, right? Well, did you have a dynamic where maybe your mom was really controlling? Say like you're a man, was your mom really controlling to you? Or like, was your dad always controlled by women? Like it's really interesting, right? When we really look at it, we're like, whoa. And that just goes back to, once again, your beliefs create your reality. So we got to figure out these stories, and we got to create new stories and new narratives to experience all the bliss and joy and love that Source has here for us. So yes, I'm excited to hear from you. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. The fact that you're here, I feel like I say it every video, but it's freaking amazing and epic. Like, what? You are interested in doing the inner work. I honor you. And yes, of course, that is one of the qualities that is on what I am calling forth in a partner, right? And just my soul family and who I'm hanging out with in general. Yeah, you got to be doing the inner work, right? I am here to connect with conscious, high vibrational humans that are literally breaking thousands and thousands of years of conditioning and pain patterns and trauma in their family. Let that marinate for a second. If that's you, oof, I just got goosebumps. Thank you so much. Truly, I honor you, and I'm really, really grateful for the work that you're doing, and for the work that you're doing for what it is doing for the collective. So thank you, seriously. And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this with someone that is going to get their mind blown, their heart expanded. And until next time, I'll see you guys next Friday. Sending you love, peace, and bliss. Namaste.